we are live. It is Monday, February the 15th, 8:01 p.m. Eastern, 5:01 p.m. Pacific. I'm your host, Ben. You saw that in the intro. And this is my co-host, Ben, Tom, and welcome to Canucks with Guitars.
What's going on, man?
It's going. We're waiting on snow. It was supposed to blizzard start at 10 a.m. and we're still waiting. And we're waiting on that foot of snow. What am I looking for? There we go. Let's quickly, we'll do a shout out to LPD Pedals, Reno Fin Custom Guitars, Tesi Switch, FU Tone Vibraprint, Flipside Music, 10 Solo Music Co., and Ardens Music, because we're not waiting until an hour into the show this week.
Nice.
And since we're doing that, let's get right to roll call. Perfect. And then we're going to get into how our day's been more. Yep. We got first in the chat, Lucas and Martin's Guitar Corner. Martin is here. Late night in Austria, but he is here. Bumble Best, Zach Thong, Terry 3Gs, JP Page 2, Will Who? Will Varilla, that's who. BC Rich 581, Terry Himes, Janice Lala, William De Silva. Let's see here. Thomas Santiago. Absolute Mayhem. He's rocking the Instapot chicken. That's actual chicken. That's not a strain.
I love Instapot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the strain of the day.
Do all my rice in the Instapot.
Dan of New Jersey. Unbelievable. Fruitcake Tony is here.
What's up,
Hip
Tony?
Metalworks. Cousin Doug, down and back with Corn Doug. The definitive podcast on the sport of cornhole, folks. I'm just saying. Definitive even. Philly G Guitar Man is here. The original Paramute. Cool Tunes Made Easy. Six String Brian. Nice.
Philly G Guitar.
All right. Like so, how was your day today, Tom?
Trying. It was going well, and then I was driving to jiu-jitsu, taking my son to jiu-jitsu, and there's a like a dog leg, almost a dog leg, but it doesn't stop hard and then go. It swoops, so it's maybe a boomerang term, you could say. And it's no street lights back there, right next to a cemetery, which makes it even creepier. But no street lights. I live in an older neighborhood. No street lights, pouring rain. Icy ice starting to freeze, and this jackass comes up the hill where it's supposed to be 25 on the corner, going between maybe 40 and 50 miles an hour, 2.5 to 3 feet over the double yellow line on my side. Now, granted, where I live, it's an old part, just west, about 30 minutes or 45 minutes or so outside of Philly. So they're old little roads, and there's no shoulder. So I had nowhere to go. I was boxed in, and this guy's coming right at me, and I slammed on my horn, and at the very last second, he goes like this, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Like,
that gets the blood pumping.
Yeah, worst drivers around here. I mean, it's like, my younger brother was almost killed twice. He was hit as a pedestrian, and once broke his jaw in 2 places, and the other time broke almost every bone in his leg.
Wow.
We'll
put out some more positive vibes out there in the universe, because I think you cashed in a few, Tommy boy. I think you might have cashed in a few.
I think I gave up one life. Like, I'm down to like 3 now.
Exactly. So we'll just put some more positivity out there in the universe so it can come back around and help us out. Graham Campbell's here. Good to see Graham in here. He's been doing some recording, got some new music out. Great stuff. Check it out, Graham Campbell, folks. Craig Tomlinson joins us, John, ZD351, and Dale Palmer. Dale, you got much snow on your side of the lake? Because we're supposed to get a foot here.
And
like,
Dale,
enough that I woke up this morning and Dad said to me, just so you know, we'll have the girls tomorrow because the buses will be canceled tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it was like, okay. So I shot a video today just to be on the safe side. Yeah. Unfucking believable. Sent out some good karma. Good. That guy, he cracks me up, Tom. He had reached out a while back after I put out that trade video about trading some pedals and stuff.
Yep.
And he goes, hey, I might have some pedals around here. I'm just going to check.
1 or 2, maybe?
Yeah. I was like, awesome. Well, if you do, awesome. Just shoot me a tracking number so I can make sure I'm around, because, my luck would be the day of the freezing rain is the day the package is left right out in the open in the freezing rain. So him being him, I get a random email. He's like, Here's a tracking number. I sent you an empty box.
Yeah.
I was like, good. And my response was, good. I need an empty box.
Nice.
No, Brian. It's the 87 for the Angry Charlie. He's going to be on that.
Man,
No,
Brian's
not much snow in Niagara
photography.
region.
Do you check Brian's Instagram much? Like it looks like, do you guys have, it's not that popular in the US, but it's an international magazine, but Condé Nast. It's basically like wealthy people, high society living, like they'll show pictures on yachts or.
Okay, it said like you'd find that only in the business section and better on the airlines.
I've only ever seen it usually like at airports because none of the establishments I frequent carry it. You know, but anyway, his photographs look like something out of that magazine. Like, oh, we took our vacation to Canada to go, to go snowmobiling, and like, holy shit!
Yeah, because he captures like all the snow hanging off the trees, the sky,
the lighting in his shots, and the coloration, and the way he grades his colors. Brian, you're talented, man. I just want to say, I'm impressed. Really talented.
We got Scott tuning in along with Guitar Man 45, and Susan's here. Welcome, Susan.
Nice. What's up, Scott?
There may be some paper in the box. Rolling paper? Nice. Yeah, they're awesome stuff, Brian. It's one of those times when you say stick to your day job, because he should. Because I know he does some photography type stuff incorporated into his media job, and sure, Blackjack Guitar Nuts here.
Live
Q&A as always, folks. If you got any questions, ask away. We're going to do some focus group stuff here for the channel news. The news is I'm going to keep on keeping on. You're going to see a bit more of an increase in videos. Hopefully, I want to try to get out a third demo / a third recorded video per week. I'm able to do that because, hey, speaking of karma, Tom. So the other night I'm doing the podcast with cousin Doug.
Yep.
Canucks, folks, Wednesdays. Not sure what time this week. Doug forgot to tell me. We're changing times for certain weeks, but I don't know about this week. Are we early? We might not be. It's either going to be a breakfast show or an evening show. We'll see. Anywho's, while I'm doing that, I take the phone off the network here to try to use every bit of bandwidth. Well, while doing that, it appears the YouTube app decided to just start sucking up the bandwidth, the data, as in used up 5 gigs of my data.
What?
Over the course of a couple hours.
For what? Was it uploading something?
Who knows? Uploading, downloading, not sure. Hey, Ryan X.
Was it like maintenance on your channel or something? That seems like an awful lot.
Yeah, there's no reason for it. Like that's
there wasn't like a massive amount of views or something.
Well, that's like an hour-long HD video in 1080. Uploading.
Well, that's what I mean. That is
right?
It's quite a bit, yeah.
Like, so it's ridiculous. So fortunately, I got the warning text, right, from TELUS, my carrier, going, hey, you're at 90% of your data use, bud. Do you want to, like, take care of that? And that was, like, just as we were wrapping up on air. So I was like, holy crap. So I got on the phone, like, ironically, get on the phone with TELUS. Well, I have a limit of 6 gigs of data per month.
Now, and all of a sudden, TELUS, is that the provider?
Yes, TELUS is the provider. Okay. Hey, William De Silva, and what's up, Doc? So I got on with them, and they're like, ooh, yeah, something happened. I'm like, so you're going to shoot me my data back? Like, what's the dealio? And they're like, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, bad karma,
Yeah.
However, good karma being is because I'm on a contract, because I do the phone payments, because I have no money to buy a phone when I need a new phone. I just did the, deal. Payment plan. He goes, well, I'll tell you what, what we can do is if you buy out your phone,
okay,
then we can give you a new data plan. I was like, oh, really? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, what's the payment on the phone? He goes, well, you owe $55. And I said, well, if you notice, I got a credit of 60 on the account because I like to overpay each month. Yeah, Mike knows what I'm talking about. Worst data rates in the world.
Wow.
And so I said, okay, well, just use the credit, because I always like to build up a
Sure.
credit in case I have a bad month. Like, let's say YouTube goes down for a week. I'm screwed a
Yeah.
week's worth of income roughly. So let's
Right.
build in a fail safe. And so we do that. And then he's able to give me a new plan for $10 cheaper a month for the core plan, minus obviously the phone payment because I don't need that. So
Right.
I'm already getting rid of that per month. Hey, Brad. Well, watching hockey, that's a good excuse. And so, instead of having 6 gigs a month, I now have 15 gigs a month.
Wow, you almost tripled it. Well, that's
And
yeah.
Unfortunately, they're not able to give unlimited data.
Mm-hmm.
However, I explained what I do. Like, I'm like, yeah, you'll see data spikes on my phone. He's, yeah, I'm like, because I daisy chain the phone to the computer to upload videos. I don't upload video on the phone, but I daisy chain use the cell signal to upload. So what he did was it's 15 gigs a month. And then if I go over, see, Doug says he has unlimited. Well, you do, but you don't. What happens is I go over, I have it. Yeah, it gets throttled to a lower speed, and it's for $0 per gig over. Yeah. So technically, you do get charged overage, but per gig over, I get charged $0 for each gig over.
Nice. That's great.
So some good came out. That was karma. So as such, I'm able to have more data per month. Therefore, I'm able to upload more per month. Nice. Be nice if I had a more reliable signal, then I could actually stream more and, not worry about bandwidth and such.
Because I mean, it's like, depending where you live, it's like no matter what, if they just don't offer certain things.
Well, I have 1 bar of service, 2 bars of service, 2 bars. Yeah. Between 1 to 2 bars of service. So that's not reliable for live streaming. If you have 3, you're good.
Like where I used to live, I got between 0 to 1, maybe 2 bars. Where I live now, I get 3 to 4 bars, and I'm even in like one of the worst rooms for it. Here, wait, let me.
So yeah, Doug's got the same deal, but 20, and then the throttle down. And Islander Winder, good to see you, buddy.
Well, there you go. I'm getting at least 3 to 4 now. But I got in early on mine, and they don't like it because I'm like one of the grandfathered in plans, and so it's unlimited, but it's still pretty cheap.
Yeah, I know, Janice. You guys have it awesome in the U.S. with the unlimited, and there's Pops.
I always forget about like that's probably the device I use the most data on per month.
I am using home internet to stream, Brian, but that's on DSL service, so it's maxed out on bandwidth. I'm lucky if I have 0.8 of a meg upload on this connection I'm using. However, I was looking into. I'm sure you've seen them, Tom. They have those cell phone booster, like signal boosters. Yeah. The idea is like especially around here, if you're up at a cabin up north where you're getting barely 1 bar. Mm-hmm. You plug this unit in, and it's not one of those cheap $50 boosters. They're like 300 Canadian, but all of a sudden you go up full bar. And if I can do that, that would be a decent investment for me. Spend the $300 now that I have.
Dude, it's just put an amplifier on it on the.
Yeah, basically, and you have to keep your cell phone within 2 to 3 feet of that little device, because I've seen a few YouTubers that I follow that have off-grid cabins and stuff. And that's how they're able to upload is basically they have to find the signal.
How they did it. I love those channels.
Oh, that's right too. Hey, Eddie Van Haskell, and we want to wish Terry's 3Gs a happy birthday.
Apparently the chip in the COVID vaccine will get you a better signal.
Cushman and Rhodey's Jam Cave. So so focus group stuff. So I was going to wonder, folks, and we've got 48 people watching, so this will be good. I'm curious what you would like to see on the channel. Obviously, everyone that's tuning in, you like the live streams. I get that. I have no plan to give up either the Sunday or Monday shows, because that's what I started with, and they have a core audience. They get their 200 to 300 views, and then it drops off to nothing. And that's fine, because I dig it. I love hanging with everybody. But for demos, what I want to know in the chat is, we got 50 people watching. Type 1 in the chat if you watch demos. And believe me, you won't offend me. Type 2 if you don't watch the demos at all. Like if you watch any, I mean, that covers the guitar demos, the pedal demos. I'm curious who watches the demos and who doesn't. That's a good question, Doug. And while we're getting the responses here, Doug asks, do anti-vaxxers use antivirus software on their computers?
I don't know. Maybe anti-vaxxers use virus software on their computer.
All right, so there we go.
1.5.
So we've got a lot of ones. Quentin doesn't watch them. That's fine. You know, that's fine. Larry Mitchell. Good to see Larry.
Larry. How are you, sir?
Seeing a lot of new names in here. A lot of people coming out of the woodworks here. James, the Bana.
Well, I'm a nerd too. A gear
What's
nerd.
up, Doc? Marshall GTV. Steven.
Hey, Dwight.
Dwight. Like to watch, like, and comment. Awesome. Okay. So then we'll get more specific. Are you more likely to watch a guitar video or a pedal video? Or if it doesn't matter, type in 1 and 2, but 1 for guitar, 2 for pedal, and obviously 12 for both, which is 1 and 2. RJ has great demos. I agree. Frank, good to see you. Adam D. Not the really long ones, though. Yeah, I get that. Believe me, I'm not looking to do Henning length ones. Original Paramutant's more into pedals. Will likes both.
One of my favorite Hennings was he had Jen Majura there, and he was like going over all the different angles and telling her what they could do, and this kind of stuff. You know, it was like a live thing, and she was like, Henning, I just want to play. Stop. Like, she's so funny. She's like, I just want to rock. I just want to play some metal. Just basically like, stop talking. You know, I just want to play.
All right, getting some good feedback here. And okay, Eddie, he wants to make more videos dressed as Gene Simmons. Sure. John watches creators, not products. Great. Good to know. Awesome. So, okay. So I'm seeing a lot of both, some pedals. And that was what I was wondering about the pedal ones, because looking at the videos, like the most that get replayed, hands down, are guitar demos. Those ones I do in-store guitar demos, which, okay, that's fine, you know. And the pedal demos, it's way more hit and miss. Like, I'll say 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 guitar videos take off. And by take off, I mean they're getting 10 views a day going forward. You know, so they're going to make $1 a month. And, you know, that helps every little bit. And then the pedal ones, it seems to be, it's like 1 in 8, 1 in 10 pedals seems to hit a note. But I enjoy doing the pedal demos, and I enjoy doing the guitar demos too. But I don't get accused of being out of tune as much with the pedal demos. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, okay, send me a guitar. Imagine. Depends on the pedal. Good to know. Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan. What's up, man?
Speaking of which, excuse me. I do have a guitar demo and 2 pedal demos coming out this week. Amps. Amps are a tricky one, because most guitar stores don't carry decent amps. Like, they just have the more bedroom amps, and they kind of sound like ass in person, or on camera, I should say. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, everyone should check out Larry's channel, because if you're not, you don't know good guitar work. I'm just saying.
I remember I don't think I was even in high school when I first heard Larry, and I was like, wow. I remember seeing him it was a magazine ad. He had done one of the guitar magazines, and he's wearing a suit that matched his, you know, the old guitar he had. Oh, man.
We got Emery from 10 Solo Music joining us. Sean Zimmerman is here. Awesome. 58 people.
I would say for some reason, if you're not subscribed to Larry, open another window or just go subscribe to him and come right back.
That's fine. Yep.
I mean, for him, just go do it now so you don't forget because he's so amazing.
Another one we'll do a 1 if you watch, 2 if you don't. The repair videos, repair and setup videos.
I watch.
I know, Tom. You
my
get
favorite.
What are some of your favorites?
They're my favorite because I get my coffee and I feel like I'm just sitting there hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yes, Marshall Ibanez, Larry Mitchell. Well, now Nags, Larry Mitchell. Okay, so Quentin, he likes the repair videos. Okay. Will does and doesn't. Yes, Emery, Ten Soul Music, Larry Mitchell, right there in the chat. Check him out. Good stuff.
I think Larry's one of those guys that someone says, "Is there like someone who can like play pretty much any style?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's Larry Mitchell."
Lucas, well, actually, it's Martin. Martin says depends. Okay, interesting. Depends. I'm curious on depends on. I guess the Fretsbro video. Exactly. You know what? That Fretsbro video, I did that, Tom, and then Mayhem's over here, and he picks up the old Wolfgang. He goes, "Ooh, she's got some Fretsbro." She just started sprouting. It's a 2011, and it just started sprouting in the last week to the point where, because it's stainless frets and they're vintage, so they're small stainless, they're just like little pins.
Yeah.
I was playing it yesterday. I'm like, ooh, okay, yeah. So
I had
expect to see another video involving fret sprout because that'll be
two I have to do some work on because of that. They weren't expensive necks though, so.
Brad watches the repair videos and cringes. I added the last part. Jose Benito Martinez Jr. He says likes the LPD pedal demos. Well, hopefully we'll have some more of those in the works. Lawrence, who's missing from the chat. Lawrence.
I can't wait. Lawrence is the man.
Depends mostly on time. Yeah, and the repair videos, I'm thinking I'm going to try to, if it's a longer repair, just for ease, like the last one, I don't know if you noticed, Tom, but it was the long one. The definition wasn't there.
Okay.
Because in 1080, it was such a large file, my computer couldn't find the file on my phone. So then I had to.
It's not funny, but just the way you described it, that sucks.
Yeah. So then I had to save it in the lower res, like 720 or whatever. And then it's like, oh, you mean this video? I'm like, yes, that video. Hey, there's Lawrence. Lawrence, if you look up in the chat, Jose Benito Martinez Jr. really likes it when I demo your pedals. So I need some pedals to demo, please. And thank you. Just saying, we're looking for content.
Lawrence, I got your email today. Looked great, man. Looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were showing off some of the stuff there last night there, Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
Some teasers, as it were. Okay, Larry was saying he was at Ibanez for 26 years and now Nags the last 6. Yes. And he's also been rocking that Godin for a number of years, which is a beautiful guitar. They're nice.
His signature Nags is really cool, that inlay.
It's not a fish.
Yeah, I remember he was talking about that.
Yes, the 68 stacked.
It's fully functional, but it's just it's also looks like a piece of art. Like it's gorgeous, you know.
Yes.
Mine's not as beautiful, but I love my Nags.
I'm thinking about that 68 stack though, because I dig my 68.
I was almost gonna buy you.
Brad's seen Larry a couple of times in Florida. Nice.
Oh, I think I'm gonna wait now that I saw that picture you posted or you were showing yesterday.
Of the 68?
Yeah, the stacked. Yeah. So how does that exactly work? It's still one in, one out, right? All the stuff done internally.
There was a description.
Oh, cool.
Because I'll forget.
Morella says I married a few Nags.
Larry asks, which Nags do you have?
Oh, I have the Steve Stevens SSC. It's the Kenai model with two humbuckers, and it has a Tunematic style bridge, almost like the Les Paul setup, Larry. It's the three ways on the top horn. It has a Tunematic bridge, and then it has, the two volume, two tone. And then the pickups in it are the ones, I forget. They're more like a PAF output, like an 8-9K kind of thing. I think he based them on the Mule pickups. Is that the set? I think that's the one, yeah.
So all right. So the deal is apparently worked perfect on the first power up. 2 independent original 68s. The internal slider switch allows either independent right foot switch controls right on off, left controls left on off, or toggle it. The right foot switch toggles between left and right, and the left foot switch is on or off, and you can stack the two in independent mode.
Wow. That sounds cool.
So you can set it up like your 87 Deluxe, so you can have it channel switching, which is how I would probably use it on my board. Or you can just one right into the other, which then you could do as a lead boost, or and there's bare knuckles pickups.
And I can just I'm imagining, and maybe I'll be wrong if I get to use that eventually, but I'm imagining if you dime one into diming another into, you got a plexi style amp and you're diming it, it's just going to give you that everything wants to blow up sound, like almost like a natural fuzz.
Yep.
I want to try that.
Well, I'm already thinking, okay, I'm going to run it into the 87.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought of that. Run something slightly lower gain into the, yeah.
Oh, I'm all about stacking into the 87.
Yeah.
Was Up Doc moved from Vancouver Island to Winterpeg, as we call it. Minus 40. Yep. Ooh. That's always fun. Then put the nice drive into it. Exactly.
Bare knuckles. That's it, Larry. Thanks. I couldn't think of the manufacturer.
Nice. Keep those questions coming, folks. We got 61 people watching.
Maybe negative 35 at most.
Well, Portage in Maine, that's it's the coldest intersection in Canada. It's not the most northerly, but it is so flippin' windy there.
Oh.
Right? Because there's no hills. It's out on the prairies. And it's just, it could be minus 30 without the wind chill.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like Chicago, you get the lake effect, but then you go to the other areas in the Midwest and the States, and it's like, it's flat for miles, and it's just bitter cold because the wind.
Like that's true. Unbelievable says the nice drive into the 87 is just fun. I know it really pushes the red channel over the top.
I remember not my family member, but through marriage, I guess it was a member of a family member of mine. We were at a wedding. He was telling me he was stationed in the military, and they stationed him up in Alaska, and they said you have to preheat the lock of the vehicle before you put your key in, otherwise it'll break off if you put it in and try and turn it.
All right. So What's Up Doc is just off Main Street, so it's cold. Janice, I'm going to read this off because if China Mike is watching on replay, because he watched last night's show on replay, she follows someone who lives in Sandy Bank, Saskatchewan. And that's why I want to bring up the word Saskatchewan, because China Mike has a viewer that tunes in called The Moose is Loose in Saskatchewan. You may have seen him in the chat. Mm-hmm. And he always says the moose is loose in Saskatchewan. It's just how it's spelled. You say it just how it's Saskatchewan. I'm not spelling it because it's a big word, but Saskatchewan.
So it's Sasquatch, right?
Yeah.
So I remember when I was a kid, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was Sasquatch. I know. I thought it was
let's see here. Quentin says we're getting creamed as sweet 9 to 14 inches of snow. Yeah, that's what we're.
Quentin, I don't want to hear about you getting creamed. And if you call that stuff snow, then that's up to you to call it that. But come on, Quentin.
Haha, Will. Haha. Was updated a post for Rev. Nice. Hey, I'm just trying to help Mike out, Terry. I'm just trying to help out Mike. Because I know
like
Saskatchewan.
When Quentin tries to say Sanders' last name.
Or me. Hey, Dejo Blue. The Steaming Bean. It's an interesting title for a channel.
And I don't know if you caught that earlier, Ben, but someone was mentioning about a Brazilian guitar player that was really good. So I copied it down. Matthias, it looks like Cantari. Matthias Cantari does rockabilly, country, that kind of stuff. And
nice.
I don't know if he mixes it with Brazilian or just if he is Brazilian, but I don't know. Most Brazilian guitar players I've come across are usually pretty amazing.
You'll enjoy it, Zach. Zach can't wait to go fishing. You should be at the well, actually it hasn't been cold enough. I was going to say, if we get a bit more chill here, Zach, you could be out there ice fishing on the Trent River.
Saskatchewan. Oh, man, I haven't been fishing in years. Used to go all the time.
Quentin?
Yes, please. Yes, please. And a chocolate? Thanks.
Oh, nice. Mike Jones. Now, did he actually spell that? He is a true Canuck if he did. If not, he copied and pasted. That's Saskatchewan.
There you go.
See, look, it's just how it's spelled.
And I don't think it's that difficult.
Yeah.
It's not like it's, I think the spelling.
It's not like some of the names that are very obvious. Like, like in your, in the Dakota stuff, you have like Kicking Horse, right? But we have like Moose Factory.
Moose Factory. Well, near me, they have like Bird in Hand and Intercourse. And there's a place called Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
There's Intercourse, Virginia, too. I've been there. It's not.
Virginia.
Actually, it was West Virginia, I think. Wasn't it? Oh. If Doug's still watching, Doug would know. Intercourse, was that Manitoba. Virginia or West Virginia? Because it was right where they all, like, 4 states all meet up. Tennessee and North Carolina and Virginia's. And it's all.
I remember this Canadian girl once. She was like, we're going to Manitoba.
LPD says, I have a friend in Michigan, or from, actually, MI, Musicians Institute, that lives in Regina. That's in Saskatchewan. Quebec, as opposed to Quebec. Quebec. And someone's asking if that's a pot brownie.
Homemade chocolate. Oh. Getting messy.
Yeah, Quebec. Oh, that reminds me.
Dark chocolate with cinnamon in it.
You know what? We're having a great time on the show here. We should have tested this, Tom, before we went live. Give me a sec here. I'm going to mute myself. Well, you guys just talk amongst yourselves.
That sounds great. What, the chewing sound? Quebec. When people say Quebec, I want to like rip my hair out. Deja Blue, I agree 100%. I get really good like Vietnamese and Chinese, cinnamons, and I get Thai cinnamon, a couple different types.
Dang it, it's not going to work.
Oh, okay.
But now what do you? Well, I did. It just happened. I came across the 1982 Juno Awards, which is like Canada's version of the Grammys, and Bob and Doug McKenzie were presenting. Unfortunately, I sent it to myself in Facebook Messenger, but that didn't work. It would play it within Messenger, but it wouldn't allow me to open it up to be able to
share.
share.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Scott.
I don't think they would care if it was copyrighted or not, because it's from 1982, and it's not like they really played.
I've never had tendonitis in my shoulder, but I'm gonna assume that would suck. I've had it in my hands.
It sucks.
My fingers, I've had it, and it really sucks. So I'm gonna guess it's equally as bad. I'm sorry, dude. That sucks. Dude, I do the same thing, Deja Blue. I use and I also use cinnamon and chili sometimes in my coffee. So I'll go both ways. But yeah, we got to do a cooking show sometime.
Dang it. Was that even them that wasn't them that did it?
Chili would be good.
Now I don't even remember where I saw it.
Did I tell you my son got a deer? You want to see the picture?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. They have private land they can hunt on at his mother's place. All right, let's see where it is here. And bam.
Bound and determined to find this post.
At the butcher's.
Hang on.
Nice cut, huh?
Nice.
They had
Hey, Gary.
I think they got about a third of it butchered, and then the guy that's been doing them for like 30 years sliced the tip of his thumb off, so they're gonna have to finish tomorrow.
Ooh.
You're frozen, Ben.
Am I?
Oh, there we go. Now you're back.
Oh, okay.
That roadkill, no, it's venison. It's a deer. So they got a lot of meat. What's up, Big G?
Really wish I could find that thing.
I know I saw Sandra. Now I don't see her, but I didn't get to say hi. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? If you're still there. Is that a possum? Yeah, it's a giant opossum. Anyone have any questions? That I can
Sweet.
for you?
I think I did it.
Cool.
I don't know how I did it, but I did it. All right, how do we do this?
Oh, I dropped something. I could keep that in the backyard.
Oop, hang on. Stop. Abort. There we go. Did you hear that, by the way?
Yeah, I could hear that.
All right, so we'll pause.
That should work.
Should work. All right, where to go over here? Screen share. Wow, Chrome tab. Which one is it, though? Dang it.
That I don't know. Anyone have any questions? Did I see Kiesel's new Jason Becker model, basically a high-quality Kramer Night Swan? I did see it. Jason Becker Yin Yang. So it's a 24 3/4 scale.
All right.
Mahogany.
So here we go. This is the 1982 Juno Awards.
Cool. Okay.
And just let me know if this does go full screen here. There we go.
Yeah.
Enjoy, folks.
You hear a lot about Canadian culture these days, but in the past year, no one has done more to spread Canadian culture around the world than these two guys. Nominated for Album of the Year and Comedy Album of the Year, here are two of Canada's true native sons, Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's so awesome.
Just like seeing Tower Restaurant. Yeah.
Okay, do it. Do it.
Oh, okay. Okay, listen to this, eh? Okay, now do it at 33, eh? Okay, rewind. Okay, now do it in Dolby, eh? Now that's noise reduction, eh?
Do it in Dolby.
Good day, eh? I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug Juno. How's it going, eh? Jeez, everybody's dressed up, eh? Yeah, I feel kind of shy. We should have worn our good tubes today, eh?
I am.
Good.
Yeah, but we got special treatment, eh? They're letting us eat.
Fancy toque.
Okay. Geez, these guys picked us up in a limo, eh? It's beauty. Yeah. So they come up, eh? So we're driving along, eh? And we're looking out the window. Good day, how's a good day? Nobody's waving. Faces too, you know? Right, nobody's waving back, eh? So they pull out, we get out, blacked out windows, can't see in, eh? Yeah.
Not sure if that was a joke.
Okay. Told you they wouldn't take off. Okay. Topic. We should have dropped that one, eh? Okay, another topic is rig company, they're hosers, eh? They said, okay, you guys sold some albums, but then other people told us that we sold more albums than that, okay? Yeah. But we'll tell you right now that we sold even more than that, because we ran off about 100 copies in our basement and sold them out too, right?
Yeah.
Just because
Nice.
we're not into blind, that's not our bag. Yeah. Okay, we got to give out awards. What? I'd like to first of all find out if the KTEL guy is here tonight. Is he? Because I like, all your stuff is $9.99 for record, $12.99 for a tape and cassette, eh? How do you calculate that difference? And number two, we have a new product idea for you, the new record dicer and slicer, eh? Chop up old record beauty, eh? Yeah, they want us to do another album, eh? Yeah. Posers. So, excuse me.
Posers.
Sorry. No, you go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. I love that.
Zoom in on him for this, eh? Zoom in.
So good.
Jeez, I don't know where the cameras are. Not normally this far away. The cameras are wearing tuxedos too. You can't see them. Okay, so some of the songs we're gonna do, eh? We're gonna re-record some hits that passed. Take the A Train. We're gonna do Take the Train, eh? Okay.
Take the train, eh? That's great.
Now, I'm going to briefly pause it here because they're going to present an award. And I'm curious how many people out there will even know all these bands that are outside of Canada.
I want to hear them and see if I know
Okay, good day.
them. Happy birthday, Terry.
Okay. Nominees for most promising group
Most promising.
are number 1, Gatto. How many people vote for Gatto? Yeah.
You've heard them if you've seen a phaser demo of mine.
So raise your hand. Yeah, raise your hands. Don't clap. Okay. If you voted for Gatto, raise your hands. 1, 5, 2, 32. Okay. Come on, do it right, eh?
1, 5, 2, 30.
Okay. Red Rider.
Sorry, I don't know.
They're not doing this right, eh?
I voted twice, eh?
A joke. Number 4, Saga.
I've heard of them, but I couldn't pick them out of a lineup.
Sorry, the Kings. Sorry. And the winner is Hill Street Blues. Oh, sorry.
Hill Street Blues.
Sorry to take the steam out of this. The winner is Saga. Saga.
Canadian award shows in the early 80s, folks. I got to say, I love the fact that they do it on albums.
Yeah.
For the
That's
envelope.
cool.
But
Hey, what's
yeah,
up, Dave?
let's see here. Okay, Graham Campbell knew Martha and the Muffins. Yeah, Echo Beach, exactly.
Dave's Guitar Channel.
Red Rider, sure. Hey,
If
Dave.
you're not subbed to Dave's Guitar Channel, you should definitely go sub to him too. He's
What I laugh at is that's the 1982, and for those who didn't know, at the very beginning, introducing Bob and Doug in, that was in fact Burton Cummings. So,
okay.
Burton Cummings introducing Bob and Doug. So you had Gatto, who had already been around for a good 5 years.
Okay.
Had several albums out before 1982. Red Rider, that was right at the start because Lunatic Fringe, that whole thing would have just come out 81, 82. Saga, yeah, On the Loose. Great band.
Dave said Red Rider was awesome. Tom Cochran's band.
Yeah.
Someone else mentioned, I think.
Yeah, Red
Ben
Rider
Solo.
turned into Tom Cochran and Rider. Then it became just Tom Cochran. Nope, not much has changed. And geez, they were pounding back the cold snacks, eh?
Yeah.
And those were real pints. You could tell. But being
cool.
Canadian, I don't know if you caught it, but Rick Moranis, he cracks one open and puts the cap in his pocket.
Yeah. I did see that. Now that you mentioned it, I wasn't paying attention to it, but yeah. Huh.
Yeah, so I saw that this morning. I'm like, oh, we got to share that on the show. So a little Bob and Doug McKenzie doing the awards show. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. And I don't think we would have got copyright. Not Max Webster. No. Actually, they were pretty much broken up by 82. Oh, that would be a good show. Tom Cochran with the Tragically Hip and 5440. Did they call everyone hosers? No.
Mm-mm.
I'm not sure where that came from, or hosehead. That was the other thing, if you didn't call them a hoser, you hosehead. But a lot of people did start calling each other hosers because of the popularity.
Yeah.
And I know I have said take off before, but I think, again, because in 1982, I was 8 years old. So being exposed to that. I remember one of my buddies in school, you dress up for Halloween every year in school. And it would have been 1984.
I would have been
one of my best friends got in trouble because he came to school as one of the McKenzie brothers.
Oh, really?
Complete with an empty stubby bottle, walk around with a stubby, and that's what he got in trouble for. You can't walk around with an empty pint. It doesn't matter if it's empty or not. You can't walk around with a beer bottle in fourth grade.
Funny. Dave was mentioning that I know Lunatic Fringe, and now that he said that, I pulled it up quick and listened. Now I remembered it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a big hit.
And if you want to see someone who's got insane movie, TV, musical trivia knowledge. Oh man, Dave and Krellbar going back and forth. I've never seen anyone,
Very true, Dave. Dave Thomas's brother. Dave Thomas's brother would be Ian Thomas, who had a very big hit. Actually, his first big hit was a very big hit, which was Painted Ladies. Look that one up, Tom. Painted Ladies. You'll know it right away as soon as you hear it. Huge hit. He also did work. He did a lot of film work, music for film. He did music for the McKenzie brothers stuff. He did some of that stuff. He had a resurgence in the late 80s with a band called the Boomers, which is a good band. Ian Thomas did a cameo episode or guest starred on SCTV as himself. But it was funny because he acts all normal type thing. We'll call it normal. And the McKenzie brothers are like, you're a sellout, eh? You don't even talk like this anymore. And then all of a sudden, you could just see the facial expression changes like his brother does into the character as the McKenzie goes, I only talk like that, when I'm around the suits and the Americans, so they think I'm much smarter. But really, I'm just a hoser at heart. And then the rest of the show, he's basically undercover as a third McKenzie brother.
That's hilarious. It's
right.
Wonderful.
And same as when the McKenzie brothers took off, that was the breakout characters from SCTV that after the McKenzie brothers broke so big, they incorporated that into the show, how they used to be, treated like absolute garbage on the show because it was the show behind the show. So like the Muppet Show, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they're giving him Johnny LaRue's dressing room and kicking him out. And, they're sending limos out for them and they're all.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Let's play Beer Hunter. Hey, Richard Poole. And people wonder how the hell I end up the way I am between SCTV and WKRP. What was the movie they did? Strange Brew.
Oh, I loved Kids in the Hall Brain Candy. It's okay, my marrow's just low.
It's funny because the Kids in the Hall took off in the US on Nickelodeon, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was basically done here. Like, it was done already. They did their 4 or 5 seasons, and they were in heavy syndication within Canada because of Canadian content.
Right.
And then it got picked up south of the border, which kind of led to the movie in many ways. Yeah, Max von Sydow and Strange Brew, right?
They even had a song within the movie. It was Cancer Boy with Whistle When You're Low, and he's doing like it's almost a rip off of like the Scorpions, like, and he's just sitting there, and it's
I'm seeing a lot of reference to squishing your head, but it was Mark McKinney. I crush you. I crush your head. I crush you. I crush you. I crush your head.
Crushing your head. I am crushing your head.
I'm crushing your head. I'm crushing.
I love that.
And the young Mike Myers used to hang out with those guys, never as part of the troupe, but when they would practice, I believe they used Second City as a practice space. And Mike Myers was hanging out at Second City at the time.
Just like so creative, though, you know.
I still remember one of the best lines ever was one of those deals with the Devils. And when it came to music, and it was like, you don't even like that band. Yeah, you do. I got the greatest hits. Greatest hits albums are for losers and housewives.
I've seen that clip. Losers and housewives, exactly. Although I've bought a couple greatest hits just because I didn't have the cash to spend on all of them, and you know,
it was a good way to get into a band. If you were unsure of a band, like if you heard a song by a band that you liked, buy the greatest hits, check them out. If it's worth, then buy the whole catalog.
The Bob Marley greatest hits, like that. That can
is that a Frampton reference in my store?
That can get a teenage boy laid a lot, you know.
These are the Daves I know. These are the Daves I know. Ooh, that's a good one, Scott. Favorite WKRP episode? Yeah, my sister's is the one with the phone cops, the tornado episode, hands down, because that was a two-parter for one thing.
A woman in WKRP. Whew, I used to watch this with her.
I don't know. The one with the sobriety test was pretty good. There was a few of them, like when Johnny didn't have a story. I just remembered there was one. It was like certain music set off a flashback on Johnny, and he was having an acid flashback the entire episode.
Yeah.
But it was just random things. Like he'd open a room, open the door into the bullpen. He'd be like, "Do you see a guy standing over there?" "Nope." "Neither do I." And then he'd come in and sit down. Yeah. The turkey drop was a classic.
Was it Lonnie Anderson, or I thought it was another woman on there. Either way, she was very top heavy. I just remember
Lonnie Anderson. Yeah.
Okay, and I just remember being a really young kid and going, "Ooh." What years was that on? I could tell you how old I was then.
WKRP, I believe, was like 79 through 83 or 78 through 82.
So I was like 2 to 6 years old. So I don't remember it that much. Yeah.
That was insane, Zach. Because Zach being younger, Degrassi Junior High. That show, Tom, started out as
so much.
It started as Degrassi Street, okay, which is just kids.
Yep.
Then they became Degrassi Junior High, and the show then took off. Then it turned into Degrassi High because they didn't want to lose it.
Yep.
And then they did the reboot.
We even had one called Degrassi Senior High in the US, but I think it was like one of the other ones just retitled or something.
Right. And then they did the reboot in the 2000s because I remember Kevin Smith came up to direct some episodes.
Degrassi Junior High was like my guilty pleasure. I didn't want any of my friends to know I watched it.
You and Kevin Smith.
I loved it. So good.
Everybody wanted to be Joey Jeremiah.
That and I have to admit, and I'm embarrassed to say this as a male at my age, but My So-Called Life. I used to love that show with Jared Leto and what's her name? I love that actress, Claire Danes. And I've already said he was 18 in 78. Well, I was born at the end of 76, so I was basically a year old in 78.
There we are. Hello, PB.
September 18th, 1978. That was the day after my sister was born.
It was a few months after my sister was born.
Wasn't September 18th the day Hendrix died? Or was it the 17th? I think it was the 18th.
Around there.
1970.
What was the Degrassi with Seth and Franco? Oh, what was that? There was a reference to that, wasn't there?
Let's see what we got here. Yeah, September 18th he died. My sister was born September 17th, which was also the signing of the U.S. Constitution in 1787. Was September 17th. That's why I remembered it.
There we are. All right. So do we have any more guitar questions? We've gone off the rail. That's okay, because that we got some guitar stuff in at the beginning.
April 21st, 1982.
Yep. That show should have gone on much longer. Actually, you know what? One of my favorite episodes, when they did the band promotion for Scum of the Earth. Because Johnny was so just rock and roll. Yeah, like he was so along for, you got to go babysit the band. Fine.
Deja really wants to see your Wolfgang up close.
Sure.
Deja Blue. Scott Brockway saying you need to totally get a vintage Washburn A10 or A20, Ben.
I do. I?
That is really pretty. I love the MXR knobs, or well, what are they? Jazz bass knobs originally, I guess.
Right.
MXR kind of tried to make people think they were theirs, but you know what I realized though on these little MXR pedals, these ones,
dang it, yep, there's fret sprout.
The little directional lights glow in the dark, and I didn't realize till I was trying to tape with gaffer's tape over every light in my room because I like it pitch black, and all these lights were shining. It was driving me nuts. And also the MXR ones on their knobs, the little directional thing,
right?
They glow in the dark. It's glow in the dark paint on it from the factory.
Yeah, like got some fret sprout too. We're gonna
be filing tomorrow or later tonight.
Yeah. Well, if we got the girls over here tomorrow, the girls will get a crash course on how to file frets.
Do the fine tuners work well, Ben?
Good question. I don't really use them because I just leave the nut loose so I can just tune it normally.
I do like the idea though of fine tuners on a fixed bridge because that is nice to be able to just go.
Where did that first happen? That tailpiece?
Was it like one of those Leo Kwan badass bridges or something? No.
Norland era Gibsons, 70s Gibsons. Remember there's a handful of Les Pauls, some Les Pauls had them. I think the Artisan.
Yeah. It was the Artisan because I always thought they were aftermarket until I saw that.
Wasn't there like the Paul had it too? Yeah, maybe. I think it was Shaler possibly.
A buddy of mine's dad had that, the Paul, which was what year, like 79?
Something like that.
It had that weird, not weird, but like that brownish kind of wood finish. Fret sprout, not to be confused with bean sprout, not to be confused with
Gibson and PV Odyssey, Sean Zimmerman says. Interesting.
I don't know. I got these tuners on here.
What's up, Doc? Just picked up a GT1 and a Fox 5-watt rhythm amp. Nice. When monitoring, I find using the line option from the amp options or the aux in sounds best if we want to use preamps from the GT1. What's better? Good question.
Now this is not, these are, it's not a promo or anything, but these they're Clousons, but
They are
they're
nice.
made specifically for the late 60s and early 70s strats. They fit exactly without re-drilling in the same, they see the weird trapezoid shape and the way they all line up. They fit within that. That one looked black. It was weird. It looked like it was tarnished, but it's the light. But they fit right within that, and so that it's a non-invasive modification. I have the original tuners that came with it in the case, but it's cool because you can have an original, an older guitar, and not screw up the tuning holes. And they're locking tuners, but the ratio on them is really good. They almost feel like the old Schallers, and then the,
Nice.
I don't know if you can see it here, but the tuning head
They're
posts are
staggered.
staggered in height, so I don't have to have a string tray, so you can see the hole's still there, but
Right.
it's not necessary because
I think What's Up Doc has the right idea here. If you want to use the preamps from the GT1, you would want to go into the aux in of the Vox, because if you use the aux in, then it should just be hitting the power amp section. So you're not getting that extra tone stack to go through.
What a bong?
Yep. Hip shot's also staggered. Yep. Mayhem says he has those on both his tellies. Orion Quest, hello. So, got any last minute questions? Let's get them on in, folks. And while you're doing that, I'm going to grab the piece of paper that has our patrons listed on it and read off our patrons, because it's the Monday night show and they help keep things going.
Real quick, Ben, what is your favorite locking tuner?
I only have one set, and they're Sprizels that I bought in 1993 or 94. Never had a problem with them.
Yeah, that's what I have on my Les Paul Studio. Gold Sprizels. Only because the bridge and the pickup covers were already gold,
Exactly.
I've never had a problem with them, though.
So if you'd like to get your name read out on the list, you can see the list. Yeah, we've had a few people leave, unfortunately. So the list is ever changing. So I do appreciate each and every one of you that are on here. And let's go in reverse order this week. Why not? Charles Green, Keith H, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe C, Absolute Mayhem, Charles 75N, Brad Miller, Knucklehead 0, unfucking believable, Jose Benito Martinez Jr., Ivan Carter, Todd Flowers, Blackjack Guitar Nut, Craig Tomlinson, John ZD351, Grumpy Mike Guitar, Fruitcake Tony, JP Page 2, Bent Tom, and of course, Randy Crooks. There we are. Oh, no, that's why I was over here.
I have a need for weed. I like that.
Well, see, that's how Mayhem's on the list, because he's not an actual patron, but he supplies other stuff.
He supplies product.
Make the channel go around. Let's see. Emery says I've had a set of Sprizels on his Yamaha since 1994 as well. Can't go wrong with them. Yeah. Well, that all dated because I went into the local fender dealer and I said, "Hey, put a locking nut on my Strat." And they're like, "We're not doing that. We're not carving that out and doing that."
Video. Take my old Strat around and be like, "Yeah, I just want you guys to cut it out for a humbucker. I want you to paint it like the Eddie Van Halen, guitar on the first album, just black and white. Put that pickguard on, and then I want you to take the logo, strip that off, and put a Gibson logo on, and then set it up. But actually, can you do a Floyd Rose on it and just watch them go like, no."
Yeah. Exactly. Martin, I haven't tried the Clouson ones. I'd like to try them. I'd be curious. Yeah, so they said no, and then they said, "Hey, this guy," they said Eric Clapton's been using these locking tuners. You might want to try them out. I'm like, well, if they're good enough for Clapton, they're probably good enough for me.
The ones I just showed are the Clouson locking tuners.
Okay.
On my Strat, yeah. They were only like, I think, $50 or $60, but
nice.
I don't know if that's cheaper or more than other ones, but they work great.
Awesome.
And the gear, the ratio is really good. It's a really high ratio.
Right.
So.
Well, I think we've just about covered it all for the night. If you're watching on replay and you made it this far, I forgot to mention that when we're doing the focus group stuff. That's it. If you're watching on replay, comment down below what you like, what you want to see, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. And we still got 42 people watching. And we've got some people in here that, some have been subbed longer than others. But I'll say anybody, if you've been subbed to me a year or less, could you go back on the channel and maybe watch a few of the older videos and give them a thumbs up and maybe comment on them? And that'll help maybe get them to do a bit more. So if you got an extra 5 or 10 minutes, maybe check out a video or two, if you don't mind. Please and thank you. Did I ask already? Anything to add, Tom?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. It's like last night. Nope. I'm like, damn, okay. It was just the way you said it. I was like, what? Did I just shit in your cornflakes? Because you're just
no, I'm content.
Yeah. Hey, Charles. And we'll see you, Zach. And yeah, so until next time, he's Tom. I'm Ben. I got to do production here at some point. Here we are. There it is. Cheers, rock on. Hold those doors open. Let that guy in heavy in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you. Tom knows he used up some karma today, and he's going to, give back tomorrow as a result. I'm going to do the same thing. I wish each and every you well. Be good to each other. Cheers and rock on.